think we got a new little rivalry brewing between good old Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. And I tell you what, it's about time. I mean, I know Denny will wreck him. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Denny will wreck him. You know what I mean? Denny ain't going to play around. You mess around, he's eventually going to wreck you. So hopefully Kyle Larson, he's not that way. He's really not that type of driver, but hopefully Kyle Larson does the same to him. I would love that. That would be awesome to see. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. Man, I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night out there. Got a little bit of NASCAR news to go over. Wild Nashville race there in the Music City to recap. And looking forward to probably my least favorite race of the year, the Chicago Street Race. Hopefully this is the last year we got to deal with it, man. That's all I got to say. But getting right into it, if you're new to tuning into the show, the way we like to start it out is what we call the word of the day. So the way you play this is every time I say a word, I have no idea what it's going to be. You take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I always like to say it's age appropriate as well. If you're under 21, make sure you get something sweet tea, Kool-Aid, get jacked up on some sugar, Red Bull, whatever it may be. Play along, y'all. So this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, but every time I say it, take a sip. Last week's was Nashville, so heading into that race, I'm sure I said that quite a few times, probably had a pretty good little buzz, man, so enjoy the show, y'all. Getting right into that NASCAR news, Joey Logano figures out a way to come home victorious there in Nashville. I know, Lawrence, what the hell, give me that swear bucket. He's throwing up Ford emblems. Not my favorite by no means, but at the end of the day, finally got a points-paying win on the season. And hey, I tell you what, it was pretty hectic at New Hampshire thinking about it, and I talked about it last week. If two guys, if Kyle Busch and Joey Logano missed the playoffs, well, one of them's pretty much locked in there in Logano, so we'll see if Kyle Busch can make his way into that 16. But at the end of the day, really good run there for that 22 team, and it's exactly what they needed to get done for sure. So, some breaking news coming out today. Josh Berry set to take over the iconic 21 Woods Brothers next year, 2025. Man, I tell you, it could possibly be somewhat of a resurgence for Wood Brothers for sure. That single car team affiliated with some other ones. But at the end of the day, it's been a while since they had a guy, I think, of Josh Berry's caliber. I will say, you know, not that much experience in the Cup Series, is a little bit older. He is a veteran. He's been doing it a while. I think it's a smart move for them. I think there isn't a better guy out there to go and fill that seat. You can always go get more young talent, but you never know what's going to happen. Take care of the race car, finish some races, get some points, and hell, who knows, maybe even contend for that wind out there, man. So I think it's going to work both ways. Good little ride for Barry, and great for the Wood Brothers as well, man. So Carson Hocevar, I tell you what, he learned a very valuable lesson, man. $50,000 fine for what he did under caution there with Harrison Burton. Got to hit him where it hurts, man. I hope them pockets are deep because that's a big one. So very valuable lesson for a young driver there. You know, tempers flare. I'm telling you guys, as we get into the summer and it heats up, man, these guys start getting a little more irritated with each other and definitely easier to piss off. So just be on the lookout because I don't think there's going to be anything else other to talk about here later on in the summer than what we've got going on between drivers. It's definitely starting to heat up for sure in the race car and on the track. And, you know, if it keeps up, probably in the garage area as well, man. So if you guys haven't yet, man, go out, like, share, follow, all that social media. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Most importantly, go out, subscribe to that YouTube channel. As I always say, man, the more eyes we get on the show, hopefully the more eyes and money we get donated into the great causes we do, not only on Rubbin' and Grubbin', but also Coach's Corner. Still trying to give away this Bowman helmet, man. I mean, we got to get it going. I mean, this is a pretty sweet helmet. It is really nice. It's one of those replica helmets, autographed on the visor. I mean, it really is. It's a really nice helmet. We got to give this thing away. We got another one, I think. Lawrence has another one. We got some other stuff to give away. You know, we got to get rid of this one. So, Alex Bowman win, or I don't know. Me and Lawrence got to talk about it after the show. We got to come up with something. But at the end of the day, if you're new, subscribe to it. In the comments on the show, make sure you put hashtag Alex the Showman Bowman, and you get a chance to win this beautiful helmet, man. Great piece for the man cave, or if you know somebody that's a Bowman fan out there, make sure you follow us on Rubbin' and Grubbin' for your chance to win for sure. So Aric Almirola, this is kind of some under the radar news, which why it just came out like into last week or Wednesday night, Thursday last week, I really never understood. But Aric Almirola and Bubba Wallace get into a physical altercation at the Coca-Cola 600. Just now hearing about it like this past week. You really don't have any details of exactly what happened. Bubba's not commenting on it. Obviously, Aric Almirola is not going to comment on it. But that marks number 2 for them. If you guys remember, I don't know, what was that last year? I think Almirola pushed the shit out of him there one time and just pretty much said he wasn't going to take it. So at the end of the day, I don't know what happened, but it happened during the Coca-Cola 600 weekend. Almirola was slated to drive, I think, the 19 for Gibbs there in the Xfinity Series, and Ty Gibbs ended up being the replacement there towards the last minute when this happened. So hopefully as we continue to go on through the year, maybe we'll get some more details and see who got punched in the face or body slammed or whatever happened. Who knows what happened? Who got jacked up? Let's just, hopefully we find out those details because I like to hear about it, man. I want to know what happened for sure. Hooters and Hendrick Motorsports part ways, man, and it's such a shame. That was my favorite Chase Elliott gear. It really was. I mean, I like Napa too, don't get me wrong, but the black and orange was definitely better than the blue and gold. I hate it. As we all know, Hooters are struggling. They're closing like 40, 50 restaurants. I don't know how many restaurants. Struggling restaurants are closing. Hendrick Motorsports gave their statement on it and just said Hooters has not been able to fulfill their sponsorship obligations towards Hendrick Motorsports, which really sucks. So, at the end of the day, hopefully we pick up another cool sponsor there for Chase Elliott, something. I mean, I need some gear, and I definitely don't want to be rocking out all the Napa gear. So we got to figure out something for the Bulldog. But I know Hendrick, they'll get it lined up, man. They probably got people knocking at the door ready to sponsor. So at the end of the day, hate it for Hooters. Also hate it for HMS. Hendrick, I mean, Hooters has been part of the sport there on and off for a good long while, few decades. Yeah, Alan Kowicki, man. I mean, on top of some others. So, at the end of the day, man, it just really sucks. But, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. So, getting ready to get into that checkered flag for charity, y'all. You guys, if you're new to tuning in, the way we do this is whatever car number wins, we donate that into the checkered flag for charity. $20 there. Oh, 22. Hey, looky there, Joey Logano, man, $22 going in there. The checkered flag for charity total, a little bit over, let's see, $1,429. And just do have to give a big shout out to everybody because I want to tell you guys, man, we have raised almost $900, $900 in the month of June doing the Cooler Full of Joy there over a couple concerts. So big pat on the back for everybody that came out, donated into those. We got some more coming up in July. Obviously, we got some cooler stuff as we head into the fall. A few things to give away as well. So make sure if you guys are coming up here to the Soundgarden for some of those great shows that they put on back here, make sure you bring a little bit of extra money, get into that raffle. I mean, worst case scenario, you're helping out a great cause, help save one of our own, a local 501c3 charity. It is an awesome thing that they do. They help somebody or people in this community every single year, man, and they've helped a few people we know, so we like to help them, and that's what we're raising money for as we move forward. So again, make sure you throwing it in, bring some extra money, get some raffle tickets, have a good time, and donate into a great cause, y'all. So getting ready to get into that who's hot and who's not, but before we do, got to give a big shout out there to my main man, Parker Eccles, owner-operator, Arborman Tree Service, the best tree service in the Savannah area. I tell you what, doesn't matter what it is, getting full tree removal, stump grinding, limbs cut back, man, we're in hurricane season. You see that there's a big boy out there, definitely not coming our way, which is great, but it's going to be hot, man. It's going to be a hot season, a lot of hurricanes. Make sure you give them a call, man. Get those trees cut back. Last thing you want is to kind of neglect it and a couple $1,000 turns into, a brand new house, man. So at the end of the day, like I said, make sure you give Parker Eccles a call. You'll see that number scrolling on the screen all night long. Arborman Tree Service, locally owned, locally operated, fully insured. Hey, man, as I always say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby. So getting into the who's hot, and Lawrence is going to love this. Lawrence is going to love it. Ford takes over the #1 hot spot, man. I tell you what, they have been on fire as of late, unfortunately. I hate to say it. God, I feel like I should be throwing like $20 bills in here for even mentioning that word. But at the end of the day, you got to give credit where credit's due, and they've come on strong this summer. Now, my biggest question is, when's Chevy going to win again, man? I'm ready for a Chevy win. We need to go ahead and get out here and get another Chevy win. Could happen this weekend. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm ready to see that bow tie back in victory lane. But for now, Ford will take over the #1 spot on the hot list. Penske and Roush, Fenway Keselowski, they got it going on. RFK, they got it rolling, baby. So, you know, time for them Chevy boys and Bowtie boys, put a stop to it. Somebody go out there and get a win. So, number 2, there are Chevy drivers, and they both belong to HMS. I mean, when you look at it, Kyle Larson's got to be number 2. Found a way somehow at Nashville to come home 8th. I don't even know how that happened, but he did figure out a way to make it happen. Again, I think it's the fastest car as we unload every single week when we get to that track. You know, I think he's going to contend for a few more wins this season. I don't know what we say the over and under on him was, Lawrence, when we talked about earlier. 7, 5? Was it 5? Shit. What are we at, 3? Oh, he'll definitely get 5. I mean, we got, I don't know, however many left. He'll definitely get 5. So we'll definitely go over that. And like I said, I just think, you know, generational talent. I thought it was 7, right? So, yeah, Elliott was 5, right? Yeah, he definitely needs to win some more damn races. He only got 1. Larson was 7, which we're almost halfway there. We're almost halfway there. You know what I mean? It can happen. He can get hot, win a couple back-to-back, put us right there at the mark. But I tell you what, again, like I said, just best equipment in the sport, the best all-around driver in the sport right now. You got to go with Kyle Larson, man. 3, come on. Chase the Bulldog Elliott, baby. Everybody can clown all you want. 1 win on the season. Again, like I said, only driver in the sport not to have a finish outside the top 20. The man has finished inside the top 20 every single race this year. Again, I mentioned it last week. The only thing he is lacking are those playoff points. He's got to go get some stage wins. He's got to win some races. It's got to happen for him, man, because I'm telling you right now, when we get in those playoffs and let's say one of those guys with those least amount of stage points has a bad race, it hurts compared to guys that have them. So he's got to go get them. You know, we got plenty of time in the season. A few good tracks for him coming up as well. So be on the lookout. Chase Elliott going back to victory lane here pretty soon. We'll say within the next 5 races, Elliott wins another race. All right, I'll take a $5 bet. Anybody watching, I win, I'll pay you. You win, you go ahead and donate it into that checkered flag for charity, man. So getting into the who's not, I mean, this is going to be a number 1 on there. A big topic of conversation is Kyle Busch. I mean, this is the most dismal season Kyle Busch has ever had. I know he's got to be secretly regretting going over to RCR. I mean, I think there was really nowhere else for him to go. Maybe that was going to pay him. And it's just an off year. Maybe it's a rebuild year for him. I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes over there, but I do know when you got a guy with the talent of Kyle Busch and the wins he has, and he's running as poorly as he's doing, you got to be on the not list, man. Legacy Motor Club, I'll tell you what, they are non-existent this year, you guys. I mean, you know, John Hunter, I think, had the best runs out of all of them, which is something to say because I really like Aric Jones. I mean, I think he's a really good young driver. He's been in the sport long enough. He's got to get it going on. But at the end of the day, they are just non-existent. You don't hear them. You don't talk about them. They're always outside, wherever. You know, a few good runs for John Hunter, maybe 1 for Aric Jones, but you really expected them to run good when they made that move over to Toyota. I really did. I thought they were really going to. So I'm going to kind of give them a little pass this year. Next year, if we're still doing the same garbage, I don't know what they got to do, but they got to do something different because it's just not working out, man. As always, y'all, NASCAR STDs, mufflers, and EVs. Thank God this is the last week we even have to talk about mufflers. Really, I probably won't put it back on the not list all season long. Chicago Street Course, we get this out of the way. We get the worst race of the year out of the way, done with it, and then we move forward, and then we don't have to talk about it. So at the end of the day, can't wait to get it over with. No more mufflers. Done with it, man. So getting into the Nashville recap, man. And I tell you what, that was a pretty good race. I had to work a double. I got to watch it somewhat in between what I was doing at work. Little rain delay there. Glad they got it cranked back up. 5 overtime restarts to finally declare a winner. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit, different segment of the show. But at the end of the day, Joey Logano played the full fuel strategy, stayed out, and got the win. And he said he was running out. He said he was running out of fuel, and he cut it close. But at the end of the day, still enough to get that victory and bring home those checkers and lock himself into those playoffs. So, again, good run there for that 22 team. Few good players, man. Denny Hamlin looked like really one of the cars to beat. He was super fast, man. He really was. You know, there again, I think it was the third OT. He had to come in. Him and Truex had to come in and pit for fuel. Kind of cost him all that track position, and in a way cost him a shot at that win. But sometimes that's just the way it happens, and, you know, we all know Denny. Whether you're a fan or not, he'll be back contending for more wins as well. you know, I hate it. I don't for him, but I hate to see it happen and go down that way. So at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. Wherever he finished is better than finishing, you know, way in the back for running out of fuel. So, you know, smart move. It just sucks. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet, and that's what happens, man. Do want to give a shout out, man. A few smaller teams out there with some more good runs this week. I tell you what, Zane Smith, man, second place finish. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That is the highlight of the season for that team. Really for Spire, almost, if you ask me, man. I mean, that kid ran a really good race, found himself in the right position to bring home that second place finish. Daniel Hemrick, the problem child, Noah Gregson, and Ryan Priest all finished inside the top 10. You had a couple more right outside the top 10, but got to tip the hat, man. You got to give the nod to these guys piecing it together and figuring out a way. You know, chaos ensues. They didn't get caught up in it, and they found a way to get the track position and get the points. So definitely pays dividends and goes a long way for those smaller teams. So hats off to you guys on that. Didn't go without some drama either, man. I think we got a new little rivalry brewing between good old Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. And I tell you what, it's about time. I mean, I know Denny will wreck him. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Denny will wreck him. You know what I mean? Denny ain't going to play around. You mess around, he's eventually going to wreck you. So hopefully Kyle Larson, he's not that way. He's really not that type of driver, but hopefully Kyle Larson does the same to him. I would love that. That would be awesome to see. You know, but I think it really is. I think it's becoming a rivalry. Now, how many years does Hamlin have left, and how long are we going to get this going? Is it going to be a Gordon Sr. type deal? Probably not. But at the end of the day, we'll see how many weeks we can keep it cranked up and poking the bear and see if we can light some more fire underneath those two for sure. All in all, great race to me. You know, 5 overtime finishes. Happens that way sometimes. The rules are the rules, and that's what it is. And like I said, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. But I tell you what, I'm glad to see Nashville becoming a staple on that NASCAR Cup Series schedule. I really do. It's a very cool track, very unique. You know, pretty good racing there, a lot of passing, a lot of good crazy restarts. I mean, it's kind of got everything that you want in a cup race. So as long as they keep putting on a good show and that product is hitting TV, I say we keep going to Nashville, man. So hats off there and keep it on the schedule. So getting into the Chicago Street Race preview. Not my favorite. I mean, this is not my cup of tea. If I got one circle that I hate the most, this is probably it. I mean, out of all the road courses, this and the Roval, those are probably my 2 least favorite races all year. And, you know, I get it. I mean, I really do get it. It's something they had to try something new. They want newer fans. They want a new fan base. They want to spread, you know, the geographical location of where the fans are at. We had Chicagoland, man. Bring it back. The hell with this street course stuff. I get it. It's an event. It's not just the race. You got the race going on the weekend. You got concerts all the time. It's big money. And I guarantee the people in Chicago really don't give 2 craps or 2 shits about NASCAR being there racing on the street around Grant Park, as you see. Nobody gives a damn about that up there. They really don't. They didn't give a damn about going and see it as an actual race car track. Why do you think they're going to give a damn about seeing it when it's on the streets of Chicago? Businesses affected, traffic's affected. Guarantee you they're pissed off. So at the end of the day, hopefully this is the last year that we actually have to deal with it. I'm really hoping NASCAR takes out the schedule, quits fronting that money, quits losing money, revamp. Hell, the money they spent doing this the last 2 years, they could have paid towards revamping Chicagoland, man, or Kentucky or something different, Rockingham. Damn, something. Anyways, top 5 for me. Usual players, man. I know everybody's going to think SVG. That's not for me. That's who Vegas got number 1 on those odds, which we'll talk about. That's not for me. There's no way he does it back-to-back. I'll take Tyler Reddick. I think when we talk about road course racing, this is the guy right now. You know, I hate to say that because my boy's not too shabby at it himself, but I'll take Tyler Reddick number 1. 2 for me, got to be Chase the Bulldog Elliott. Again, I just mentioned it. One of the best behind the wheel on a road course. This is a little bit different. It's not a true road course. It's through the streets. But at the end of the day, I think he's got a better feel for the car this year than what he did last year. More seat time underneath him. I expect a top 5, top 10 finish there for the 9. Maybe even contend for that win if it falls right. So I'll take him 2nd. 3, I just mentioned him, man. The Thunder from Down Under. Oh, SVG, man. I mean, he is, you know, doing his thing. He won this race last year. First Cup Series start and turns around and gets a win. I mean, that's pretty good record there at Chicago. Do I think he's going to contend? Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely think he's going to be up there contending. Do I think he'll win it? No, I think he'll get taken out. I think the Cup Series guys aren't going to – there's no way they're going to let this guy get behind the wheel and beat him twice on a track. That's just not going to happen. So, at the end of the day, I'll take him 3rd, though. 4 for me, Christopher Bell. I think he's hot enough, you have to take them. You've got to get it figured out. You know, there again, I think this kid's young. He's talented no matter where we go. Hell, he got a win on Roval there at Daytona. What was that, 3 years ago, COVID year, or year after, a year before, or whatever. Daytona Roval. He got a win there. So, you know, he knows how to get around a road course pretty well himself. 5 for me. It ain't going to be the 5. I'm leaving the 5 out of the top 5. If I had to go 6, I would take 6. But I'm leaving the 5 out of the top 5. I'm going A.J. Allmendinger, baby. I like the dinger up there. I think another guy there again, if the equipment's good, the pit stops hit right, he's got enough experience, man. I think he can definitely wheel it at the end of the day. So definitely keep a lookout for him. You know, a little bit darker horses, you're looking at it. Michael McDowell in that 34, he's got a knack for road course racing. He's been hungry, man. He's been right there the past couple weeks trying to figure out a way to get a win, going for it. Maybe this is the week. Maybe it falls to where cautions fall away and strategy comes down to fuel and they had the right strategy. Who knows, right? Or maybe he races his way up there and wins it, but I'll take him as a dark horse. And a guy I really want you to pay attention to and look at, which me and one of the NASCAR gurus up here, if you will, the man's got way more knowledge than I do. He's been watching it about, I don't know, 30 plus years before I was born. But at the end of the day, Joey Hand is in an RFK car this weekend, the 3rd RFK car specifically for this event. The kid is a hell of a road course driver, definitely knows how to get around. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for Joey Hand, man. It might even be on the money line, a deep, deep bet for a top 10 if you can do that. Top 5, and I don't know about that, but we'll see where it unfolds. But watch those 2 guys for sure, man. So getting ready to get into that money line, man, presented by Redfin Polarized, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Whether you got a wall hanger or money on the line, make sure you see it clearly with, again, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Italian frames, Carl Zeiss lenses. These things are made for the woods and water. They are badass. These are my favorite pair of sunglasses. I have a few other ones, don't get me wrong. I got to order a new pair of Redfins. I got to get on that. Will Hare Racing, baby. I'm telling you, he got him a set, a hat, a shirt. Big shout out to them as well for hooking them up with that. That's awesome. You know, supporting that brand, throwing it out there, pimping it out there on Thursday Thunder up there in Atlanta Motor Speedway around those Legend and Bandolero drivers. So awesome deal there. What a cool deal. But again, man, make sure you check out that website. Get to check out. You can use code Rubbin'n'Grubbin15. Save you 15%, man. And as always, live life fins up. Redfin Polarized, baby. So the money line. This is probably the worst, I don't know, pick I ever have to do is Chicago. I hate picking. I'd rather pick for super speedways than pick for freaking road course races, all right? But at the end of the day, SVG opens to that favorite at plus 500. Plus 500. I mean, I'm not taking them. I'm just telling you who the favorite is, right? I'll take them top 5 maybe. I'm not taking them to win. It's not even really worth taking them top 5. You know, 500 plus 500, it's not really even worth our time, man. So looking a little bit deeper in the field, there are some guys out there. Again, I mentioned a few of them. We're not going to venture too far off the list because if we would have followed my freaking dark horses from last week, we would have hit Logano with like 2,200 plus 2,200. But we didn't. But we still did okay on the weekend. Let's see here. What did we do on the weekend? We missed the Cup Series. All right, we did miss that win. We did miss the Cup Series win. We were looking good there somewhat towards the end until mayhem happened. All right, but we did hit the trucks with Christian Eckes. Plus 400. We hit Xfinity with John Hunter Nemechek, plus 900. So we're doing good there, man. On the year, we're up plus 6,575 units, all right? That's not too bad. We really need a big hit. I don't know when it's coming.
1,200 last year.
We were at 1,200 this time last year? Damn, so yeah, we're killing it. We're yeah, I know.
12,000.
Oh, 12,000. Yeah, so we're, okay, there you go, Lawrence. Yeah, so we're halfway at this point of where we were last year. And I didn't think last year was a great season, but anyways, we'll get there. All right, we'll get there. As long as we end up profiting at the end of the year, that's all I care about. We'll get there, man. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Lawrence does a great job throwing it all up. We'll be betting again this weekend, wide open. Probably not going to go for the gusto. We're probably going to be very selective and kind of hold it back this week, all right? Now, here when we...
Everything on the...
Uh-oh. Everything on it. Lawrence is going everything on the 45 this weekend. 54 this weekend.
9.
The 9. Oh, on the 9. He threw up 2 hands. I guess you do have to do that to have 9, unless you're, you know, from Alabama. If you're a Crimson Tide fan, you might have 9 fingers or something. Or you're counting on your toes, whatever you're doing. But at the end of the day, the 9 is who we're throwing it down. I say we go 9 and 45. We split it down the middle on both those guys. That's all we're running. You heard it right there. Lawrence made the call. 9 and 45, 2 win, top 3, top 5, whatever it may be. We're doing it all. All right, that's what we're rolling with. So getting ready to get into Lamar's, the hard right turn. But before we do, got to give a big shout out to Lamar's Body Shop out there. Lamar, the man, the myth, the legend, owner, operator over there at Lamar's Body Shop, the best auto collision service in Savannah. 35 plus years taking care of all your Savannah auto collision needs. Doesn't matter what it is, man. If you need that estimate, drop your car off, come to Coach's, eat some lunch, go back, pick it up. Lamar and his team are the best, man. They do not cut corners or fade the funk with you. They're going to shoot it to you straight up, and their work's awesome. I've had family. Lawrence has had cars. Everybody that we know has taken cars up there, and they do phenomenal work. Again, 2301 Skidaway Road. Hop, skip, and a jump from Coach's, Lamar's Body Shop. Make sure you check them out. As I always say, why settle for par? Go see Lamar, baby. Love you, man. So getting into that hard right turn, and this is what I was talking about earlier, 5 overtimes. Now, here's my feels on it. I don't mind watching it. I don't care if it takes 10, especially when I'm at the race. If it takes 10 tries to do it, it takes 10 tries to do it. This is kind of the rules that NASCAR there again put into effect and put into play. Now, a lot of people complained about it. I'm sure the drivers complained about it. I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there whining and bitching about it too. But at the end of the day, I remember actually when races ended under caution. And I remember how fans would be pissed off that, 4 laps to go, race is going good, somebody spins out, wham, bam. Guess what? That race is over. That's a done deal, ends under caution. So it's a double-edged sword there for me. I think NASCAR needs to go back and really revise the rule book on a couple different things. Inclement weather rules on top of this one for sure. I think 3 attempts. I think 3 attempts to get the race finished is about it. If it happens, a caution comes out on that 3rd attempt, that's it. And the race ends under caution. I mean, that's just me. 5's a little excessive, but at the end of the day, it makes for great TV. It makes for great excitement. The fans in the stands absolutely love it. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I think it is a little excessive 5, but I'm not complaining one bit. I will sit there and I said, watch 10, 15, 20 of them. I don't care. If there's 3 guys that restart, I don't care. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about for me. So if you're a fan out there bitching about how long it took or how many restarts it had, just shut up, man. Just be done with it. Shut up. Turn the channel, whatever. Wait till 20 minutes down the road. You can turn it on and see who won. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So at the end of the day, call it good right there, man. So that is going to do it for the rubbing. We're still waiting on the grubbing, y'all. So while we wait a minute, we're gonna drink a little cold beer. I'm quite parched up here. Wham bam. Thank you, sir. Uh-oh. Oh, I definitely need a couple of these for sure. Hope everybody's having a good time, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, Coach's Corner Sports Network. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on Wednesday. I promise you that. I get to come up here, talk NASCAR, see all my friends and buddies in there as we get our game of skill all put together in there. It's great, man. This is a great atmosphere. Again, as you saw John and Thomas clashing up here earlier, telling you all that news that's coming up in the Sound Garden, man. We got some really good stuff coming up throughout that month of July, into the summer, almost into the fall, man. I'll tell you what, there's quite a few concerts I'm definitely ready to check out. As always, you'll see me here kind of kicked off somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm usually always here for the ones I want to see. But there's going to be some good ones, man. So you got Coach Carl DeMasi coming up right after me, baby, with the Coach Carl Prep Sports Report. What do you call them? Sports? What do you call it now? I keep getting this wrong. I need to write this down. Carl DeMasi Sports Report. There we go. Carl DeMasi Sports Report. It was a Prep Sports Report, but now it's the Sports Report, which I really enjoy, man. The dude has so much knowledge, keeping you up to date not only on everything local, coming on around the area and who's hot and who's not and up-and-coming athletes, but also keeping you updated on how those Braves are doing and what those Bulldogs are up to and, the Hawks and different little things, man. So Coach definitely knows his stuff. The man's a legend. You want some knowledge, make sure you tune in. Also go out, check that page out on YouTube. Subscribe to Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report as well. Spread the love. And if you're subscribed to him and you're not subscribed to Rubbin' and Grubbin', make sure you subscribe to us too. Let's spread the love. Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're trying to build it, baby. Coming on to bigger and better things. And at the end of the day, we've been gaining, man. We've been gaining a lot of viewership thanks to you guys out there watching it. And at the end of the day, It's what it's all about. As I say all the time, man, the more people and eyes that we get on the show, again, hopefully the more money we can raise for these charities that we do with Rubbin' and Grubbin' and also Coach's Corner and all the patrons and everybody here, man. Big shout out and big thank you. I don't know if the grubbin's coming, man. I'm getting ready to get off of here. It's hot, y'all. I'm going to drink this cold beer. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday, and I hope everybody's enjoying the summer, man. I'll tell you what, you know, I usually use this for a motivational, positive speak, and I hadn't been doing it the past couple weeks, but I'm going to today. You know, what I want everybody to remember is what summertime is really all about, man. It's really about making those memories with family and friends. It's about taking the time out of your busy schedule, taking some time off for vacation, spending the time with your young ones, again, with your family, your wife, whoever it may be, right? Spend some time together, reconnect, not only with yourself, you know, reconnect with the ones you love. I mean, that's really what it's all about. I think we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the everyday life. We really kind of lose what is very important for us, right? We really honestly do. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that's just kind of like, you know, you have to work. We all have to work. We all got to go to work. And 9 times out of 10, the stress and everything else that you have going on in everyday life takes over. And you forget to slow down and really take a step back and look at it from a distance and look at it, you know, seeing all the things that you're rewarded and what that hard work pays for, you know. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things. Just take your time. Make sure you enjoy those little life moments, man. They go by too quick. And at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. I do got the burger coming on, which is amazing. Which is amazing. Yeah, I could have told you that was coming. Which is amazing, man. I went with a staple, one of my favorites, man. The Grand Slam. This thing is loaded up. Big Daddy Fatty. 2 half-pound patties, baby. Grilled onions, bacon on it. Got the tots. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. This thing's amazing. Lettuce. We got pickle. We got onion. We got tomato. I can't wait to tear into this, y'all.
Can't eat it, I'll take it.
I figured that, Coach. I know the feeling. Hey, thank you guys again for tuning in, man. Love all support. Keep supporting it. Subscribe. Spread the love. Till next week. Hey, man. Love you guys. I'm out.
Wash those hands.
Wash those hands, Coach. Oh. Huh? Oh, yeah.